Gucci. Okay. Here we go, guys. We are back for another podcast. It's only me, your boy T Chance, coming back through with another amazing guest. I mean, last week we had Deontay all the way from USA. If you haven't seen that one, make sure you go check it out because it's very insightful. It's very insightful if you're into your fitness. But this week, introducing Donovan. How you doing, my bro?
Hi, how's it going? I'm good, bro. I'm good, thank you.
Great to hear. Now, I'm gonna say a little thing about you. I'll let you explain yourself after a bit. But if you don't know
Okay,
this guy is an absolute unit. If you watch him, if you follow his Instagram, that'll all be down below. But this guy, honestly, see him in a ring, kickboxing, it's game over. The fight, every single fight I have watched, bro, you have smashed it. And this guy, can I
thank
just
you.
say, he's got a title and he's undefeated. If you're looking into starting boxing, kickboxing, cage fighting, anything, martial arts, you want to be watching this podcast because this can be very insightful, especially if you're wanting to go into amateurs or whether you're just wanting to start off. But Donovan, I'll let it go to you, man. I'll let it go to you.
Oh, put me on the spot a bit. Uh, so, I, so I'm from Birmingham. I'm a kickboxer, and I've been training since I was little, but I kept making excuses for why I weren't going to start fighting. First, it was couldn't fight because of my GCSEs. Then it was I couldn't fight because of my AS levels. Then I couldn't fight because of my A levels. And then I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I've just got to do it. I've just got to do it.
Yeah.
And I never admitted to myself that I was scared, but I think I was scared to start. And then once I started training properly and once I started fighting, I've loved it from there, man. I've just it's been the best time of my life.
Yeah, exactly. And this is definitely a thing that in life I've experienced it myself, with doing YouTube as a start, but you regret the things you don't do in life.
Yes,
I've
hundred
noticed
percent.
that a lot and I can see from you, like looking into your perspective, if you were to go back in time, would you have gone into amateur fighting earlier, would you say?
Yeah, would have started it as soon as possible. At the end of the day, if 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 I lost some fights when I was younger, it wouldn't have mattered too much.
No.
I'd probably be further in my career today
Yeah.
if I started when I was younger.
Yeah.
So even if I did lose one here or there, or I weren't as good, like I would have learned more by now. Like obviously I'm undefeated, which is great.
Yeah.
But if I started 2, 3 years before I did start, just think the level I could be at now. I could be
Yeah.
doing something different.
Maybe
But
you
I'm
would.
behind because I didn't start early enough. But I started.
Yeah.
I started. That's the key thing. Like you said, the things you don't start, the things you regret.
Exactly. And I suppose, yeah, maybe you might have had a couple of defeats by now on that card, but you would have learnt from them defeats.
Yeah,
And,
100%. But
throughout it, you would have had a whole lot more training. Because I suppose the difference between just attending kickboxing sessions to actually doing, like, I take it you do like a proper training camp.
yeah,
So
six
the
six six to eight
difference,
week camp, massive, massive. When I've got something that I'm training for, I just train so much harder,
yeah,
so much. I can't even put into words how much harder I train. It's literally the difference between being a kickboxer and just going to kickboxing lessons. Because
yeah,
what I used to just go to lessons. But like you said, yeah, there's a difference between when I'm actually fighting and I'm in them camps compared to when I was just going to lessons. And I think it changes your whole mindset, to be honest.
yeah,
Like everything I do, I want to do to the best of my ability. When I struggle in anything that I put my mind to, I want it to work and I want to make it work. And I think that comes from the grit of fight camps
yeah,
where my coach is pushing me to my absolute limits. And I know that I need to have the right mindset to get through them hard bits.
yeah. I completely agree. I mean, seeing because I remember when I first met you as a person, and we were doing our GCSEs at this stage, so you weren't doing kickboxing as like a serious thing, but you were still very talented at it. I mean, you could see the talent from there. I remember watching you and Joe doing like little bits of like just boxing sparring, just play fighting, but you could tell the talent was there. But like you say, like when you go from just attending lessons, you're going for like an hour maybe, but then when you're doing like a training camp, you go in ham. You're doing bits and bobs, but
100%.
But with the training camps, do you have to invest money into that, or what's the kind of crack with
Well, no,
training camps?
it's all funded. My coach looks after us well. I got one of the best coaches I could have. And we've got our sponsors. We've got a few sponsors that cover the little costs here and there.
Yeah.
But I'd just like to go back to what you said a minute ago. It just how you said the talent was there.
Yeah.
That's the thing. A quote that sticks in my head to this day is something I saw years ago, and it said, "Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard."
Yeah.
And it's just so true. Like I've always had the talent, but if I weren't working hard right now, some of the people I've already beat, they would have battered me.
Well, this is
not
it.
Putting in the work.
This is it, 100%. 100%. And I mean, I don't dispute that you weren't working hard in like your classes, but like you said, compared to your classes to your training camps, you said that, your work rate compared to just doing classes to then, is just another level. So if you were to just be doing lessons and then just having like a fight here and there, like you said, you probably would have struggled a whole lot more. Definitely.
Yeah.
But with the training camps, how mentally draining is it?
It's a killer. It is a killer, especially because of all the things I've got going on. Because it's not like I can just dedicate 100% of my time to kickboxing.
Yeah.
I've got work. I see my girlfriend. I see my friends, but that's the department I'm lacking in the most, to be honest. I've got to see my family, and and then now I'm trying to get into property, so that's taking up a big chunk of time. And the draining part is, I'll go to work, I'll finish work at 3:00, I'll go home, I'll walk my dog, I'll jump straight in my car, I'll pick up 2 or 3 training partners, we'll hit the gym, we'll be pushed to our absolute physical limit. Then I'll leave the gym about 9:30, get home, I've got to cook my healthy food for the next day before I can even think about getting in the shower. And I get in the shower, get in my bed, it's 11:30, I'm up at 6 the next day. Like it's an absolute killer. And now that I'm adding other things to my schedule that I want to do well in, like it's just I'm pushed to our mental limits, like absolute mental and physical limits. And I'd say, like you said, the mental part is the other stuff. Trying to
it is impressive, hands down. That is impressive as fuck. I mean, that's got to be dedication, because you kind of have really no time to yourself.
100%.
And I mean, to fit a girlfriend in that as well, and to fit friends in and family in amongst all of that, that is fucking impressive. That is impressive.
I wouldn't say I fit it all in well, but I try.
You try your best, yeah. And I suppose, your girlfriend understands it, your family understands it, your friends understand it. And I suppose that's the main thing. As long as they're there and they see your vision. They see what you're doing with property.
You need to surround yourself with people who support you. You need people around you who support you. That's what makes it that much easier. If I had a girlfriend who was annoyed that I'm training too much and moaned at me, that would kill me. Like that would probably put so much pressure on me mentally. If I had a family that were constantly moaning and didn't allow me the freedom to try and train, that would kill me. So I've got to thank the people around me
for allowing that time,
support me.
Yeah.
Allowing the time,
because you're investing a lot of time into it. But at the same time, the reward you're getting back from it is priceless. When you win, how does it feel when you've gone through all of that, you've put all your time and effort into it, you go to the fight, you win. And then all of a sudden, you're not thinking about the next fight, you've won that fight, you go into celebratory mode, You've got all the time in the world for that short space or whatever until your next fight's announced. How does that feel?
Which part? The part where I've just won my fight and my hands being raised, or the next day when
Right. Okay.
I've done
Okay.
it?
I'll go.
Because they're two
What I
different
was.
feelings.
Yeah. This is it. So originally, the question I was going to ask is when you've got all that time to see your family, see your girlfriend, see your friends. When all that time kind of unlocks because you've just won a fight, you've just dedicated all that time, and now you've got all the time to sort of do that because your next fight hasn't been announced. So yeah, the day after, as such.
Well, I've actually never been asked that question before. So, sorry about that.
It's alright.
So, as far as being able to see my girlfriend, it's amazing because I see her a couple of times a week when I'm in camp.
Yeah.
And when I'm out of camp, it's nice to properly see her. Like we'll go Liverpool and we'll go and do stuff like that, and we'll actually spend like good amount of time together. When I'm finishing work, I'll go and see her. I'll train less, and I'll see her, and then I'll see my family more. Because when I'm training, I literally cannot express to you how much I don't see my family.
Yeah.
Like it's literally the extent that I'm coming in, I'm saying hello to them, I'm doing my food, I'm going to bed. That's the time I'm seeing my family when I'm dedicating all that time.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see my family. To see my friends, I still lack in seeing my friends, to be honest, because I'm doing that much of making it up to my girlfriend for that. Because I'd like to see her, Like,
well, the thing is, you've been with her
family.
a while as well. You've been with her some serious
6
years.
years.
6 years. See,
long.
this is proof, ladies and gentlemen, because I've had this argument with my friends before. Recently breaking up with my girlfriend of 2 years, I had this argument with my friends because I said, you can have a relationship, from a young age and it can work. And some of my friends said, no, you can't, you focus on... Yes, you can. And you know what? You're living proof of that. You're literally living proof of that because you've been with us since... How old were you? 14, 15, 16?
14, something like... 14, I think. 14.
So you were like midway through secondary school. And now we're looking at you, 20. At the age of 20, and you're still together.
It's probably because we both support each other. Yeah, it's got to be the right person.
Yeah.
If I didn't get with my girlfriend now, and I was with someone else, it wouldn't have lasted as long as it's lasted. It's because we both the right fit for each other. I'd say most relationships that are together at school don't last.
No, definitely not.
But if you find the right person, it will last. But going back to your question, on the other side of it, as far as kickboxing is concerned, when I've put all the work in, the whole way I'm going through camp, all I want is nice food. I want burgers, I want chips, I want biscuits, crisps, and then I win my fight, and the day after, I crave none of that. I just want to go back to training. I just want to train and eat healthy. I'll overindulge on burgers, all that crap, and then I wake up the next day and I just think, I just want to train again. I just want to train.
This is another thing because your diet's got to be very on point, especially if you've got like a goal weight to go for or something like that going into a fight. I suppose you have like a weight. You and you guys have kind of got like a little thing. So like, oh yeah, I want we want me to be at 69 kilos or whatever. I don't know, but after the fight, after such like a heavy diet schedule, you must be craving food. You must be craving all
the whole way through. The whole fight camp for my fight in March, I was craving and occasionally having biscuits. That's all I wanted. Biscuits. And then from the day after my fight onwards, I haven't wanted a biscuit. I actually haven't wanted it. I think it's the idea of that I can't have something. Yeah. So I want it.
And then when you can, yeah.
I've not. What would I want a biscuit? I could have some healthy food. Like it's weird. Like if I can't have it,
you want it. Yeah. That's insane.
It's mental to be fair.
See,
mental.
What were you going to say? Sorry, bro. You carry on.
I was going to talk about something different, but what were you going to say?
I was going to say because, this is a mindset that a lot of people lack because with diet, that is such a big reason why people don't succeed with their
100%.
goals in the gym. I mean, this is what I shoot myself at now for last year, because when I was doing all my gym stuff, you know, I'd work really hard in the gym. Don't get me wrong, you know, I'd be putting full effort in, but my diet, you know, it was good some days, and then some days it wasn't. It was very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Whereas this year, I train hard, but then I also eat clean, and then
You'll see more results.
exactly, and I give myself like a cheat night, like a cheat evening, just to have something I do want.
Which
So
is
then
needed,
it gives you something to work towards. But I've never
100%.
yeah, and with
That's
you,
where people
it's
go
amazing.
wrong.
Exactly.
That's where people go wrong. They'll either do this could be someone who's just starting out going to the gym, someone who's been going to the gym for a while. That's where people go wrong. They'll pick one or the other. They'll either say, I'm eating healthy now in my house, or I'm eating healthy. Are you exercising? Nah, we're eating healthy, I should lose weight. Or they'll say, I've started going to the gym now, I'm going 5 times a week. But they're eating Mackies and other shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I should be swearing. But
go for it, man.
they're eating Mackies and all other crap.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can't have one or the other if you want to see real results. But if you
Exactly.
do both, I promise you'll see
You're
real
guaranteed.
results quickly. It's not hard to lose weight. Mentally, of course, it's hard. You know, when I want biscuits, occasionally I slip up and I have them biscuits in camp and stuff like that. Like, it's mentally, it does kill you. But the actual how to lose weight, it's not hard. The formula's there. You need to eat clean and exercise. If you do both of them, you'll lose weight. But it's the same for if you just want to be fit as well. Eat clean and exercise. The formula's there. You need to do it.
Yeah, 100%. You literally couldn't have put it any
100%.
clear. You couldn't have put it any more clear to the people. And, you know, I found that if I was, you know, at the start of the year, I was like, yeah, I'm going to eat clean. Yeah, I'm going to hit the gym. Doing it 7 days a week, I mean, I suppose that's what you do when you're in camp.
Well, no. I'm like you. Go on, tell me what you do, and I'll tell you what I'll do.
Okay. So, Monday to Friday, eat clean, train hard. Saturday comes, I'll have something, you know, rather treatful for my breakfast. And then I'll have one meal dedicated to just eating what I want. If I want a pizza, if I want a burger, if I want whatever, cool. And then Sunday, I just do light training, but it's back to clean eating. So I just have one evening, really, where I eat crap. But it just gives me something to work towards. So I'm kind of meeting it halfway. So yes, I'm eating clean, and yes, I'm going to the gym. But I also meet it halfway to give myself the pleasure every week to get to eat something I actually do want to eat.
100. Yes, that's it. See, when I first started out, and I had my first 5 fights, I've only had 6 fights because it's all about trial and error. Like, I know people who every time they step on the scales for their fight, they're on bang on the weight. I haven't been bang on the weight yet because I'm still doing trial and error and trying to figure out my body. But the one thing I did when I first started was I'd try and I'd say, right, I'm in camp now. I've got 6 weeks where I'm in camp. And I'd eat healthy for the Monday to Sunday, healthy Monday to Sunday, healthy Monday to Sunday. And then one of the days I'd crack and I'd eat something unhealthy. And then I'd eat something unhealthy again. Then the next day, something unhealthy, something unhealthy, something unhealthy. And it just ends up, short term, you feel great because you think, yeah, I'm being healthy. I'm sticking to it. But then long term, it's just, it kills you. And obviously the formula's simple, eat healthy. But like I said about the mental part of it, you eventually you crack. So I'm glad you brought that up because, now what I do is I eat Monday to Saturday, I'll eat healthy. And then Sunday, I'll go out and I'll have a nice meal and I'll have a treat and I'll even have a dessert. Like, you don't need to make your life so boring.
No, of course.
You can have the cheat meal on the Sunday. I literally, on the run up to my fight, I have a cheat meal every single Sunday and I still make the weight and I still feel great. That one meal isn't going to make a difference.
No, not at all. It gives you a mental boost because it's going back to what I said about the start of the year, how I said, oh yeah, I'm going to eat healthy, blah, blah, blah. When I trained solid for a month, the first month, didn't eat any shit whatsoever. No shit at all. But at the end of the month, I felt like I was on the edge. I just couldn't handle it.
Becomes too much.
It becomes too much. And when it came to... I was just restricting myself that much that I was feeling unhappy while training. My attitude to training it declined because sometimes you need it just to give yourself a bit of a kickstart yourself. Sometimes you just need it, and my attitude dropped. My attitude to my diet, like I cracked the one day, and a bit like you said, how you crack the next day. I was the
And
same
then you
again.
overindulge.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and then you feel rubbish about it then, because you've gone from eating really clean to just rubbish. But if you mix it in and meet yourself halfway, if you like, then you don't have this issue because you can graft all week with your training and your eating, and you might get to Friday or Saturday, and you might think, oh right, okay, I'm really getting sick of this food, but you can also remind yourself, look, who cares?
Saturday or Sunday. Yeah.
I've got my cheat meal tomorrow, so
100%. Yeah.
so why am I stressing? I've got one more day of this, and then I can eat my cheat meal. So it just gives you a little bit of a push, rather than if you just go, oh, I'm going to eat clean non-stop 3 months, you're going to get nowhere because your attitude's going to change.
What is your fitness goal? Why are you doing this?
My goal for fitness, right? Okay, this is interesting because you know what? I actually love this because you're actually my new favourite guest because nobody before has actually asked me a question on my podcast, and I actually love that you've actually asked me a question. I rate
conversation.
Exactly. This is what I love, and for fitness, mental well-being mainly, because when I lived in Solihull, I mean, you probably remembered me as being quite tubby and whatnot. But I remember looking at myself in the mirror, and I used to get really, really depressed. I could never get girls. I always felt like the odd one out. And I looked at myself every day. I used to look at the man boobs I used to have on my chest. I used to look at the big stomach I used to have. And it really used to knock me down in confidence. And I never spoke about it to anyone. I used to just keep it on the low. I used to just, and
make jokes about it.
Yeah. And it kind of, it was a very strange one because I really wanted to make a difference. And I kind of made a difference unintentionally. Because when I first moved here, it was a new area. And I was very anxious. Like, my anxiety was at the very top because I had to meet new people. I had nobody. Yeah. I had none of you boys around me. So I was like, oh shit! Like, I got to go around. I got to go to college, meet new people. And my anxiety used to be that high. My hunger was just, my appetite. So I went from eating like a really unhealthy breakfast. I stopped eating breakfast completely. Lunch,
which I wouldn't recommend to anyone listening. Not eating is not the answer.
Exactly.
I just want to put that out there because some people, I know people who have not eaten because they think that's the way to lose weight. Yeah. That's also not the way. So just disclaimer.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So if you guys want to lose weight, do not do it this way because I will also let you on to something else as well at the end. So yeah, I went from eating no breakfast at all. Lunchtime, I'd have minimal, maybe have something small like a sandwich. And then dinner, that's when I kind of did come out a little bit of my comfort zone because I was at home around with my family, so I'd start eating a bit more then. But really, I'd only have one proper meal and then one half a meal a day. And I did that for about a month because I was settling in. And then after that month, I started to get to feel myself, but I saw how much weight I lost, and I thought to myself, you know what if I'd actually like gone to the gym? I could
took action.
Exactly. I could have gone to the gym and done this. And one of my friends from college, he was going to the gym at the time, and he just invited me to the gym, like just to come for a session with him because I was thinking about starting the gym and stuff, and I was speaking to him about it. He was like, just come with me one time. So I went with him. I enjoyed it. And I was very on and off with it, like I'd go, maybe one time a week sometimes, 3 times a week another time. And, I was very inconsistent with it. And, I saw that I had a bit of muscle mass, but I was really struggling with it. Because this is one thing you've got to know if you want to lose weight. you've still got to have a very, very impeccable diet, even if you train, because if you lose muscle mass, you struggle so much to get it back. And I realised that when I was trying to put on muscle, I struggled because I basically hadn't eaten. I was basically starving myself in a sense.
Yeah, you got to have the protein in your
So
diet.
all
You
I
got yeah.
had, yeah, exactly. So all I had in my body, I wasn't taking in protein, none of that. I had fat on my body, but I had no muscle. I had to build them
Yes.
foundations off nothing. And then when I started to learn more and more about my body, I thought, you know what, I've achieved this now. You know, I've started to build up my arms and that. I thought, you know what, I've been really insecure about my chest and my stomach. So I thought, you know what, the next goal is to get abs. You know, that's one thing I've wanted since a kid. You know, seeing all these boxers like, you know, Mike Tyson, and seeing their bodies like with the six packs, it just looks it just looks really good to me. Like that kind of that kind of thing
And
is something I'd
abs,
love.
abs are made in the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
They're made in the kitchen, not in the gym. They're
Yeah,
made in the kitchen.
you know, you can
That's why I
train abs as
struggle
much
getting
as you
abs.
like.
Yeah, that's why I struggle because my diet isn't as clean as some other fighters out there. So that's why I struggle getting like a six pack and whatnot because it's just
Yeah,
not as clean. It's not as clean to me. But if getting a six pack was something that I wanted, I'd make it clean. But
yeah,
it's not something I feel like I need for fighting.
yeah, exactly. And you know, from there it was kind of like, what can I do? And then I thought, you know what, start stripping the fat and start putting the muscle on. And then, you know, just from there, you know, the motivation went up and up and up. Made a fitness account, started surrounding
Mental health went
myself
up.
with a lot of fitness people on Instagram, fitness influencers, started speaking to them, asking for advice. A bit like what we're both doing with property right now, you know, just messaging people, asking for advice and getting our head
Yeah.
into the game. I was doing that with the fitness thing and it worked massively well for me. And yeah, it's just built off that really. But the reason I started really was just self-confidence and, you know, just to give me
To
something
feel
to
more
work.
confident.
Yeah, and something to work on the side, because I've always been a believer that having a side hustle is a very good way forward. Having something to focus on, not just work. Have something to focus on the side. And you know,
Yes,
so
definitely. It's and that's how you stay happy.
exactly.
If you just go into work, going home, going to bed, going to work, going home, going to bed. Yes, you've got more time than me,
Yeah,
but you're not doing anything with that time,
exactly.
and you just won't feel happy. You just won't. You'll feel like you're just a number. You just you're just here. You're not living. You
Yeah,
don't feel like you're actually doing anything that you want to do. You're just doing something. But going back to your fitness page that you were saying, I can't even explain to you how happy I am when I saw that you were making them fitness videos. Because obviously
spell
the
man.
muscle mass isn't there. Wasn't there. All
Yeah,
the like, you know, you'd only just started the gym, and
yeah,
I was happy that you were posting your videos up. Like, I even shouted you out and that because
yeah.
I
I remember.
love seeing people trying to better. I love seeing people. Like, I guarantee you, there's people who looked at your videos when you first started out and laughed and
Yeah,
said, "What an idiot! Why
they
is he
did.
doing this? What?" I guarantee. In fact, people might have even said it to you
I
or said
know
it about
people
you.
who have.
But you know what?
People
I'm
at work
I
literally
just,
took the piss out of me. People on my apprenticeship
but
and, you know, around my work took the piss. And then when they saw, now they're seeing the progress, because bearing in mind that first year, like, you know, my diet wasn't there, so I took a few L's and they were taking a piss still. But now I'm making actions and I'm doing it. There's none of this. It's
it's
just,
easy to hate.
yeah, it
Simple as
is.
that.
It
It's
is.
easier to hate than it is to support.
Exactly.
It's simple as that.
You've just got to
But
learn
you
that
know,
with
when
hate, it's a filter. You've just got to learn that, yes, you got kind of two filters. You got to filter it out. So some things you might regard as hate actually are, you know, constructive criticism. You take that and you know, you cherish it, you bring it inside. And then
yeah,
the hate
use
coming
that,
on
yeah.
the outside, you just throw it away. And, you know, I learnt this in
It
so
motivates me
many.
though.
Yeah, I bet it does. And I remember seeing actually you recently posting a story because you've been doing a lot of, you've been doing your runs and filming yourself, like, you know, trying to motivate people and, you know, express yourself. And you even said, you know,
Some people
about,
hate it. Some
yeah,
people like it.
yeah. you just got to learn that, people are always going to hate. It is what it is. And it's funny you mentioned that, because with this podcast, my the Deontay one's not out, just for people wondering at this stage. It probably will by the time this goes up. But
it'll be out soon.
Yeah, exactly. And the previous podcast, I got a record-breaking amount of dislikes. I actually, at one stage, had more dislikes than I did likes. And I was like, what? And then I thought, you know what? If people don't enjoy it, fuck them. It's cool. I would still be sat here talking to this camera, talking to other people, if I had 0 likes and 20 dislikes. If something you do makes you happy, and something you want to do, it doesn't matter if you get loads of hate and no people enjoying your stuff. It's cool. Just do it.
At the end of the day, you're starting out anyway. There could be people who dislikes it because they've got genuine criticisms of the video. Exactly. I don't know if I've seen the video, but there's genuine criticisms of the video. You're only going to get better. It's like the gym. When you first started out, you couldn't do what you can do now. So exactly. People would look at you and not feel as motivated by you. But then people would look at you now and be like, oh, look what he can do.
Yeah.
It's with everything. These podcasts, in a few months' time, they'll be better. And then a few months after that, they'll be better. Me as a fighter, a few months ago, not as good. Now, better. A few months' time, better. Like, everything you're just going to improve it. Yeah. You just got to ignore the people who hate on you. There's no point stopping because other people don't like it.
But look at you as an example. You started off. I don't know whether you had hate or anything like that. I just remember seeing you start out in your amateur thing, and I was like, "Yeah, let's go, bro. Let's go. Let's smash this." And I've had
quite a lot of positivity. I will admit. I've got a good fans around me.
Yes, you do.
Each fight I have.
I'll let you in on something. I'll let you go in on something. So, it wasn't your last fight. Maybe not the one before. But I went to the one where you fought in Warsaw. I went to that fight. Honestly, I went with one of our friends, Joe, and we turned up. The amount of people going, "Come on, Donovan, let's go." The amount of people, you had your family there. You had, I don't know whether that your friends, family friends,
supporters, training partners.
You had so many people rooting for you. This other opponent literally turned up. He had his mum and his dad there, and then you see Donovan. He's got a whole he's almost got a whole arena, rooting for him. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "What?"
Nah, I've got good support, and you know what? That fight that you turned up to was the first fight, the second fight, sorry, that I fought completely on my own. No other training partners of mine were fighting that night. That was just the people who came to support me.
Yeah.
And I got to thank everyone who comes out, because I do have a really good gym and really good support behind me.
Real
but
talk.
then there's still people who hate, but they motivate me. So carry on hating.
Yeah, it's what it is. And when you, I bet I don't know. Does it filter out when you're fighting? Do you hear all the crowd, or are you just in a zone where you can't hear anything, but you're just looking at the fighter?
I'm in the zone where I can only see the fighter.
Yeah.
And then it's like in between rounds, I hear my fans screaming for me, and it just motivates me for the next round. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, well, there's one supporter. I've got to say, his name's Wayne.
Right.
But he's the loudest person you'll ever meet in your life. I tell you what, I hear him when I'm fighting.
Yeah.
but generally, you can only hear it when I go back to the corner. Sometimes I give my fans a wave and that in between fights. That's
mad, because I look at, I know this is a much bigger scale, but like Anthony Joshua and that, and I always wonder, like, because when they, like, say if Joshua throws like a good hook or something like that, you hear a roar around like Wembley. And it's the same with you. When you landed a good combo, I mean, even I was like on my feet, like screaming, like, "Yes, let's go." I was thinking, does this guy hear any of this, or is he just fully focused on this guy that he just filters out?
Mainly, I can hear my coach and I can see the fighter. That's mainly it. Obviously, if I land something crazy, I hear it.
Yeah, you hear everyone like go, "What?" But it was like
mainly I hear everything my coach says.
And the thing that, again, something that surprised me on that evening when I turned up, there was people who didn't know who you were there, but you know, like when I walked to the bar to go get a drink, I remember just hearing, you know, all these people talking. There was people who didn't know you, and they were like going, "Oh, did you see that guy, that Donovan? He was amazing. He was really good. See how he done that? See how he." I was like, "Yo." That got me gassed because people who didn't even know who you were like talking so positive about you. It was sick.
100%. But going back to what you were saying about hate, I remember I went to a fight show before my first ever title fight, and I was speaking to someone, and he knew who my opponent was going to be, and his exact words to me were, "He's built like a man. Why have to put you against him? I'm not being funny, but he will beat you." And then he said, "But don't worry, because you'll learn a lot from him." That were his exact words. He said, "He's the best thing I could hope for in that fight was that I was going to learn stuff from it."
Yeah.
And he shouldn't have said that to me, because from that point onwards, I don't think I've ever trained so hard in my entire life. Every time when I was going for my runs, I was saying them words to myself.
Yeah.
When I was going for my sprints and I was tired, I was saying, "I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you."
Yeah.
Every time I was training, my coach was saying to me, his name was Ruben. He was going, "Ruben's training harder than you. Ruben's training harder than you." And it just makes you train that much harder. Sometimes you need negative thoughts to make you push.
Yeah.
It pass you know, when you hit that point where you just feel like you can't train any harder. You need negative thoughts to make you think, no, you need something worse than giving up. And that,
don't let it,
losing in front of everyone would have been that.
And the lesson off that is, don't let negative words beat you up. Use them to fuel the fire.
Yeah, 100%. That's the hardest I've ever trained, and it was all thanks to him. And I think he was one of my opponent's teammates. So thank you for them words, because it helped me.
Have you heard of him since, by any chance?
I just remember that I think my opponent said that I was too strong or something like that. Even though he was the one who was going to be built like a man. I don't know. But he was respectful enough.
Yeah.
I respect all my opponents.
Exactly, man. Well, I mean, even after that fight, I remember he was walking out, and I remember, you know, we were doing something for my YouTube channel, and then literally, you know, I said to you, I was like, "Oh, yo, that's your opponent over there." You dashed straight over, you know, showed some respect, and you know, you got to have that in the fighting game, man. You got to respect people, man, because
I think. Go on.
I was just gonna say, like, to have the balls to, you know, go into an arena like that, and you know, put a record on the line. Because bearing in mind, that guy who I watched you fight, he was also undefeated, wasn't he? If I'm right in saying.
Yeah.
So to put your all on the line and, you know, come together, someone's always got to go, kind of thing. Even in general, even if he'd had like 1 win and 26 losses, you know, to come forward and go into that
still getting in there,
you gotta respect it, man. You gotta respect it.
Nothing but respect. Yeah, I've had respect for all of my opponents.
Yeah.
Of course, I haven't had anyone who's disrespectful to me. You know them videos that I made when I was going for my runs, and I was saying how I've just done this. Why aren't you motivated? Why aren't you doing this to the camera? Some people took that as hate, and some people took that as disrespect. But I'm not disrespecting anyone. I want everyone to. I want people to watch my videos and feel motivated and go out there and go and run. And I know people have. There's some people who have reached out to me and said that they've been inspired and stuff like that.
That's what you want.
And I only want to motivate people. Don't watch any of my videos and think, "Oh, it's hate. I'm not doing this. I'm not going for my runs." Think, I'm gonna go for my runs. He's running. I'm running, and then just push yourself out there.
So, okay, when you had that title fight, what was the difference in your motivation from your first fight, or your second fight, your third fight, whatever, to your title fight? Did you unleash like something else inside you that you never knew you had? Was there something new inside you?
If I'm honest, every single fight that I have, all the title fights I've had, not once on the run up to the fight have I thought about the belt. Not once. I haven't thought about the title. I haven't thought about, if I win, I get this. I haven't thought it's 5 rounds. All I think about is my opponent. So the
Right.
better my opponent is, the more motivated I feel and more excited I feel for the fight.
Yeah.
I had a fight where I went down to Hastings,
Right.
and I think that was a 3-round fight. I think it was my third fight. And in my opinion, that's the worst I've ever performed. And I know for a fact it's because when I saw him, I didn't see any videos of him, and I weren't expecting him to be very good.
You
I got in there.
underestimated him almost, yeah.
He was better than I thought he'd be. And I weren't as good as I should have been because I hadn't been training as hard because I underestimated him.
But you pulled
And
through.
it just led to a much harder fight. But then when I fought Ruben, I was told he was supposed to be really good by everyone I met. He was a Taekwondo world champion. He wanted to come to kickboxing. He wanted to show everyone how good he is at kickboxing. And all of them little things that he's done just motivated me so much. So I more think about the opponent rather than the title.
Yeah.
And the only difference was because I knew the opponent was going to be quality. That's what sparked my motivation and made me train harder. It weren't necessarily the fact it was a title. Do
Right.
you know what I mean?
Okay. That's interesting. That is very interesting because you kind of got like the Anthony Joshua kind of approach to it. You know, how he doesn't give you didn't care about the belts. It's just him against another man. And you got that kind of vision, a very like humble fighter, you know, approach to it. But so that was your hardest fight, you'd say, so far?
Yeah, I would say it's my hardest. But another thing, it's not necessarily a good thing to be motivated based on your opponent, because I had that hard fight because I weren't motivated enough. So something I've been trying over lockdown, because I haven't got any opponents, is I've been doing these videos saying, I've just done 6 minutes 50 a mile. My next one's going to be 6 minutes 40 a mile. Then when I'm running, I'm thinking, I need to beat myself. I need to beat myself. Then my next run, I'm going to try and beat my own time. And I think I'm going to do that in training. I'm going to do that in sparring. I'm going to be my own competition, if that makes sense. Because that's the quickest way to improve. Be your own competition.
You're constantly setting the bar, aren't you? And constantly
constantly trying to beat myself.
Yeah.
However, if I want to be a little better than that fighter, I'm only going to be a little better than that fighter.
Yeah.
But if I try and challenge myself every single day to be the best version of myself, I guarantee I'll fly up through the ranks.
Yeah.
Instead of just about beating people.
Now, this next question, I've been thinking this for a very long time. I've always been very curious. So, what made you choose kickboxing over any other of the fighting games? Maybe be boxing, maybe be MMA, maybe be, you know, Taekwondo. What made kickboxing jump out at you?
The simple fact was, I did it when I was 5. I think my dad took me to it. I don't know why it jumped out to him, but he took me to it. And I trained with Garth. I did that for a couple of years, then I stopped.
Right.
And I went back when I was about 10, trained for a year, stopped, went back when I was 15, and then stuck with it. Yeah. So I literally went back to it because I knew that I enjoyed it, and I stayed with it. No, I knew that I enjoyed it, and I knew that I'd stay with it. I've never really been interested in boxing since I did kickboxing because I like to use my legs. But I don't know if I would have been interested in it if I originally started it.
Yeah. That is
it was just down to chance, really.
Yeah.
Just down to chance.
And look how much it's paid off.
I know. It's paying off now. I guarantee I'll be in a much better position in a couple of years' time.
For sure, mate. For sure. Without a doubt. So, I know there's coronavirus and, you know, this, that and the other that's, you know, kind of a bit of a cloud at the minute. But do you have any kind of like insight on when your next fight's going to be?
They've been speaking about September.
Right.
That's when they've been speaking. But obviously there's some people saying it's not going to happen in September. That's too soon. Which, to be honest, if you've got a venue and you still have to socially distance and all that, it would make it very difficult. Obviously, you could test the fighters, you could do that. But as far as the audience is concerned, if you have to space everyone 2 meters apart and stuff like that, that's when it becomes tricky.
Yeah,
but
I
feel like at least by December I'll have another fight. Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping for. But I'm going to train like it's September.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the gyms to open. Apparently, the pubs can open.
The gyms
can't open.
Makes no sense to me at all.
And they wonder why we're an unhealthy country.
Exactly, because they're open. You know, let's open up McDonald's. Let's open up the nightclubs. Let's open up a pub. Gyms.
Personally, I think it's too early to open gyms and the pubs. I think it's too early to open both of them.
Yeah.
But if you can open pubs, you can open gyms. In my
For
opinion.
real. Because you think about how packed a pub can get. You know, a gym. If you think about it, a gym's probably more spaced out than a pub. So a pub, you know, if it's a little pub, you got all these people like, you know, huddled together queuing for drinks. A gym, you just got people spaced out on different machines and, you know, in different sections, you know, maybe on the punch bag or whatever, on the treadmill, on the bikes. You know, it's all spaced out, so you never get people huddled together. And you know, it's like looking at some gyms like in Korea, they've opened gyms over there, I'm pretty sure, and they leave, like, say if you got a row of treadmills, you got one treadmill, you got one that's out of use, then you got another one, then you got glass shields.
Yeah.
You know,
and then clean down your equipment.
Yeah.
And then next person comes, he cleans it before he uses it.
Exactly.
There's ways to do it, but one of the ways you can't do it is have drunk people and expect them to socially distance.
If anything, it's just going to kick off into fights, like.
Yeah, I just don't see that happening.
I don't see what's going on there at all. But coming into... Right, okay, this is going to be an interesting one. So, 2020, for the rest of the year, what is it looking like for you? Because I know you said about, you know, a potential fight for December, maybe September. What else is on the cards for you?
I'm training, waiting for lockdown to be over so I can see my girlfriend properly.
Yeah.
And I'm focusing on property.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've been looking into investing. Well, not even just property, investing my money into stocks, gold and property, setting up a business. And this is something that I should have done a long time ago. And if it weren't for lockdown, I don't know when I would have started it. Because like you said, you need to have a side hustle. My side hustle was kickboxing. But long term, that's not a living. That's not something I could ever turn into. Well, I could, but not turn into really comfortable way of living. But look, I'm looking. I've actually been able to have time to sit down, look into property, look into investing my money, and where I want to be in however many years' time, and actually think, this is something I want to do.
Exactly. I mean, they always say, don't they? You need the sort of three kind of things in your life. You need the one to make you money, the one to keep you active. What's the other one? I'm trying to think now.
One to make you happy, maybe.
One to make you, something like that. Yeah, but you got but you've got to have like three things, and you know, you look at it. You know, you got the one to make your money. You know, you got your job and your side hustles. You know, you've got your boxing, your kickboxing. Sorry, again, that makes, you know, it makes you happy and it also keeps you active. You know, you've got all these things going around you. You know, you got your girlfriend on the side, you got your friends on the side, your family. You know, as long as you're surrounding yourself with good people, as long as, you know, you're doing things that you feel very strongly about, and you know, you're putting your fingers in different pies, you know, you can't go wrong in life. You know, there's no point living a life where you just live off a 9 to 5 all your life, because you're basically wishing your life away. That's my general opinion about it.
Unless you want to.
Unless you want to, that's a very good point.
If you genuinely want to, if you're happy going to work Monday to Friday, 9 till 5, not having a side hustle, and then Saturday going out to the club. If you're genuinely happy doing that, do that. It's your life at the end of the day.
Very true.
I can't look down on the people who do it.
Very sure, yeah. Very true.
I'm personally yet to meet someone who lives their life in that way.
That's very
genuinely
happy.
As happy as the people who are comfortable.
Very true.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, you know, there's people I know who do it. You know, I go to anywhere, and now I sort of look at side hustles very differently. Now I'm looking into property and stocks, you know, like yourself, you know, from the group we're in. I'll also shout them out, by the way, Future Minds Network, big shout out. You know, since being in that group and I've always had this mindset, but thanks to this group, it's kind of helped me, you know, actually put it into place. I go into different places, you know, different workplaces every day, you know, like say if I'm going to the shop or something like that. I look around anywhere, I see the people working in every single workplace I see. None of them look happy. None of them. even if they're smiling, you look and they almost look put on. You look everywhere, people just don't look happy because they almost feel like that's all they can do. Go to school, get good grades. Maybe go to university or start off an apprenticeship and just work off that. And a lot of people
Well, the thing
don't
is,
see the other
we're
side
in
of
good
it.
positions. We're in good position. You still live at home, don't you?
Yeah.
I live at home.
Yeah.
I'm going to be living at home for the next few years.
I'm there.
So I'm going to use this time to set myself up for the future. I want to invest my money, save my money, all that sort of stuff. So long term, I'm going to be happy.
Yeah.
Right. It might be more of a struggle now, but long term, I guarantee I'll be happier. But then all our friends, they want the instant gratification. They want the happiness now. So they want the cars, they want the bags,
the
they want
designer clothes.
this, they want all the stuff now that makes them happy. But that's not good for you long term.
No.
But then I do feel sorry for the people who aren't in as good positions as us.
Yes.
Like, we're lucky that we have the family that support us, we have the friends that support us, we have the time to put our effort into our side hustles and whatnot. But there are some of these people who are stuck in the 9-to-5 jobs and whatnot, but
very true.
They're not given the same sort of opportunities that we're given. And you got to be happy with what you've got. You've always got to be happy with what you got. You got to be humble.
It's very important you say that, actually, because by the time this podcast has happened, it will have happened. I will have done this, but I will still promote it because it's never too late. But based off what you were saying, I think very, 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 very similar. See, I look at the very bigger picture in the less fortunate. I look at, homeless when I see that, because they don't have a basis to go off. And this is why this Saturday, obviously, yes, it will be out again, but I will be doing a 12-mile run. I've got a lot of sponsors. I've raised some good money already, but I'm looking to rake in even more to help.
Seen it, love it.
Help the homeless, those who are being shipped back off to the streets, by the government because of funding, and just the homeless in general who didn't have that opportunity, and the people who want to turn their lives around but don't have the money or the access to do so. Doing this run, even if I can help one homeless person, get them off the streets, give them somewhere to live, somewhere where they can, rebuild, have some food, and be able to, just build up off that, and, just give them another shot at life. And, even if it's one person. But that's exactly how I look at it, and that's exactly why when I saw so many videos on Instagram about it, about the homeless and how they're getting shipped back off, and I felt that strong about it. I thought, you know what, I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to go and make a difference here. So I've done that, and Saturday, that is when I'm going to be doing it.
So what are you going to be doing Saturday? You run?
12-mile run. And for the Salvation Army, that charity is for, just in case anybody's asking about that. And we are also... so basically they help feed and home the homeless. So what I'm going to be doing as well, we haven't got a date confirmed yet, but we are going to be confirming that very, very shortly, is we're going to spend a morning, me and my friends who are running with me, we're going to spend a morning where we help feed the homeless, so help prepare food and, give them food. And yeah, that is basically what we're doing, because, seeing all these videos, and this is a very, very... this is one of the very few positives I do see of social media, as well as self-enhancement and networking. Because the power of social media, it really has shown 2020. I mean, looking at the George Floyd situation, the power of social media has created massive change in the world. And even just seeing stuff about the homeless, it only takes the right person like me to see it and go, right, okay, I'm going to make a difference. And it only takes the next person to see it and go, oh yeah, I want to make a difference.
Definitely.
And with social media, I definitely see that as one of the positives for it, because you're seeing some change, or some sort of positive change in the world, and it only takes one person to do it, man. We've seen it in the past. We've seen one person.
I love that.
Thank you very much, man.
I love that, man. In the future, if you ever do when you do something like this
Yes.
again, get in contact with me, and I would love to be a part of it. I'd love to have you.
More.
Even if we did something like we raised money and we went and actually gave the food out ourselves.
Yeah.
I'd love to do something like that.
Exactly. And
So
the
just
thing
let me
is,
know
it's not
if you ever want to
even,
do it.
you know, with us two as well, it's not even, you know, I don't want people slapping cred on my name or anything like that. I don't care about that. I just want to see some sort of difference. I want to see, you know, I just want to see the money that I'm getting together being invested into someone to help change their life. That's all I want to see. You know, if I can see that, then I'm happy. But we can always go further. One sec, bro. I'll be one sec, Mom. But yeah, that is a good way to end off the podcast anyway. I mean, I've just been called down for the food anyway. But
yeah, gotta eat.
Yeah, man. But anyway, my bro, I'll leave all your socials down below. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
I'd just like to say thank you for having me on, man. I've enjoyed this. I think in the future we should do another one where we talk about property.
Definitely.
More, talk about stocks and investing.
Definitely.
Because I feel like it's something that isn't really spoken about. It's spoken about in the community that we've made ourselves a part of.
Yeah.
No one really knows about it. You're not taught about it in school. You're not taught about it.
Yes. Definitely.
Unless you put yourself into it. And there's a lot of people who don't even know it's possible. So I'd love to come on another time and talk about that because
exactly.
I feel like it's an important thing for people to hear about.
Who knows? Who knows? We could have a potential co-host right here. If you guys want this guy as a co-host for future podcasts, you know, maybe we could both have a guest on or whatever. You know, whether that be property, whether that be anything, whether it be fitness, anything. Just let me know. You know, just drop a like, drop a comment if you want to see Donovan back, maybe as a co-host, maybe just as another feature. You know, power of the people. Get liking, get commenting.
And let me know. Let me know next time you want to raise money for homeless and that, and I'd love to.
Of
help
course I
you
will,
that.
bro. Of course I will, without a doubt.
We'll do something crazy.
Yeah.
We'll do something crazy like a triathlon.
Yeah, of course.
We'll
I'm down to do
something.
anything, man. I'm down to do anything. Literally
Sweet.
anything.
I'd love to do that. Like we were talking about earlier, it's easier to hate than it is to build people up. So exactly. I'd love to help you make a difference.
Exactly. Unity for the community, man. That's the saying I've been going off literally from the start of this project. You know, we've got unity. It's written in the word community. Let's put it back in. But yeah,
love that.
Thank you very much again for Donovan. You know, I hope his stories inspired some of you and also might help you in your journeys. But that is it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe to the T-Chats podcast for further podcasts. And I'll see you soon. Take care.
Stay motivated.
Peace.